Gone are the days when you could just put anything up on Amazon and it would sell. Now you need to customize your products. You need to make it unique. But how the hell do you do that? And what's the most cost-effective way of doing it? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you. There's a few different stages of this. This is, if you're unsure what that is, it's a anti-bark collar. This one, rather weirdly, delivers a static electric shock to the dog whenever it barks. Not my idea of a great time, but that's what it does, okay? So the first level of this is something that you used to be able to do all the time, and it was actually easy peasy to do on Amazon, and you could make money on Amazon as well 5 years ago. Just slap a logo on an existing product and you were good to go. Okay, so on Amazon you could do that and it worked and worked well. But now times have changed. You can't do that anymore. There's too many other people competing for that to work as a long-term strategy. You can still sell ready-made products on Amazon through wholesale as long as you're aware of the limitations of that. It's a great way to test ideas. But as an overall business strategy to grow a big business, no. This is FBA level 1, FBA level 1. So buy a product, slap a logo on it, bada boom, bada bing, it's done. Next, as I said, you can have success with that, but it ain't going to work long time for you, because the big thing is, of course, you're going to, A, you get immediate competition, and B, more than ever now, you get competition directly from the Chinese factories, or more commonly from the trading companies in China who are selling direct. Okay, that's more commonly what you get. You don't really often get factories selling direct. More commonly, it's a trading company selling direct. Europe has just introduced something to limit the amount of Chinese products coming into Europe. Interesting move. Italy's just done something same. I was reading manifestos on Italian politics last night. They were talking about that too. Interesting times ahead. Anyway, so level 2 of Amazon FBA, and I've called this the mold, but really it applies to anything where you're getting something customized. So the one simple way to have something unique on Amazon is to create your own mold out of it, is to create your own mold for it, okay? There's a few pros and cons to doing this, but as far as the strategy goes, it's A1 as far as strategy. So the pros is you get to sell something unique. You don't need to customize the entire thing. It's just something on the outside, what's typically made of plastic, that you can make into your own thing, okay? So this has got the dog collar with the bone. That's a customization. Pretty simple to do for the factory as well. Simple, but as we'll discuss in a second, not so cheap. If you do that, what you should do is you should file that as a patent in China. Something I've talked about before. China actually, unlike America, for instance, it's actually super cheap, $300 US last time I looked, to file a patent in China. Definitely worth your time doing it because it will put people off. Doesn't stop everything, because you know, a lot of people realize that fighting these things is very, very expensive, but it puts off a lot of people, okay? Add to that as well, when it comes to actually selling your product, it looks really good if you've got that patented in the country where you're getting it manufactured. So that's all the good stuff. The cons to this are it's freaking reasonably expensive, depending on what you're getting done, depending how big it is, depending whatever material is, etc. anywhere. But it can be anywhere from $500 up to $20,000, depending on the level of complexity. That's in China. And of course, if you get that done in Australia, the USA, UK, here in Europe, it's going to be a hell of a lot more, because they've got to make a brand new mold, and then they've got to do a totally separate run just on that mold, okay? So that's the problem with it, but there are some ways that you can get lower costs. One of those would be to ask your supplier if they'll pay half of it. And they will do that more than you might think. They will do that more than you might think, especially if you've got an existing relationship with them. They're much more likely to do it. They'll pay the half of that. And then you just usually what happens is you have to agree to a certain amount of orders. You don't need to order it at that time. You can say, I agree to order, you know, whatever, 5,000 units over the next 12 months, for instance, okay? So if you're kind of willing to do that sort of deal, there's deals to be done. You can also kind of amortize it into the cost of the product itself. So you might say, I'll pay an extra 50 cents or $1 a unit, and I'm going to amortize the cost of the mold over the next 5,000 or 6,000 units, for instance. I'm going to do it that way, okay? Again, this is all kind of like long-term arrangements that you want to enter into with your supplier. It makes things much, much better, in my opinion, okay? Final tip. When you actually go ahead and get your mold done, you want to get your logo stamped into it. That's a really, really big one. What that will do is it will stop the factory using that same mold. Even though you've patented it, it will stop the factory using that same mold to do other people's products for them, okay? So that's a big one. Nobody else is going to want that mold used for their product if it's got your logo tapped into it, okay? Super great. That was a video from my regular Monday question and answer session with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. We're a community of 2,500 e-commerce direct-to-consumer entrepreneurs right around the world with sales of over $50 million and growing. If you'd like to find out more what we do, check out the link in the description. Also be sure to give this video a thumbs up. That way I'll know you want more information like this, and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel because we post brand new money making information just like this each and every day. With that being said, thanks so much for watching. See you on the next video. Bye.